Look closely at this. Two lightning strikes, hitting the same man in less than 60 seconds. Strangers dressed in white, stepping between cameras, giving precise directions, and then vanishing. No names, no records, no footage. A body pushed beyond its limits, a shoulder torn out of place, a 30-centimeter scar carved into the skin, hypothermia, double pneumonia, and a heart that would later require surgery. Twice. An actor who walked onto the set as an atheist and walked away asking for baptism, alongside his entire family. And at the center of it all, one man who risked $60 million of his own money on a film Hollywood predicted would destroy him. This is not fiction. This is what unfolded in Matera between 2002 and 2003. And most people who watched the film never knew any of it. To understand how it all began, you have to start somewhere unexpected. At the lowest point of Mel Gibson's life, by the late 1990s, he was untouchable. An Oscar winner for Braveheart, a global star, the face studios trusted with anything. But off camera, everything was unraveling. His marriage was breaking, alcohol filled the silence. And in his own words, there came a moment when he no longer wanted to go on. Then one night, something shifted, not in a church, not in a public speech. Alone, he opened a Bible, not out of faith, but out of desperation. And what he found was not comfort, it was confrontation. The raw, unfiltered accounts of the passion, violent, uncompromising, stripped of the softness cinema had always added. And once he saw it, he couldn't unsee it. This wasn't going to be a film. It had to be something else. Something closer to truth. Something closer to sacrifice. Finding Jesus became the first impossible task. Gibson wasn't casting a role. He was searching for someone willing to lose everything. Fame, career, reputation, all of it. Big names were considered and dismissed. Too recognizable, too safe. He needed someone the audience wouldn't see, only the figure they represented. Then came Jim Caviezel. At that moment, Caviezel's career was accelerating fast. After standout roles in The Thin Red Line, Frequency, and The Count of Monte Cristo, he was rising. Exactly the kind of actor you don't risk on something controversial. Gibson invited him to Malibu. 3 hours? No script discussion at first, just one sentence. If you do this film, you may never work in this town again. Not intimidation, reality. Caviezel didn't argue. He spoke about the cross, about carrying it, or being crushed by it. Then something strange happened. He mentioned his age, 33, the traditional age of Christ. Gibson paused. Then Caviezel added, almost as an afterthought, "My initials are JC." Silence. Gibson stared at him, then said quietly, "Either this is coincidence or something much bigger is happening." From that moment on, this was no longer casting. The filming in Matera didn't feel like a normal production. From the beginning, something felt off. During the Sermon on the Mount scene, the sky changed in seconds. The air grew heavy. Then, without warning, lightning struck Caviezel directly. Everything stopped. Before anyone could react, a second strike hit the exact same place. 2 strikes, less than a minute apart. No burns, no logical explanation. After that, the atmosphere shifted. Prayer became routine. Even crew members who didn't believe began crossing themselves before filming. And then the report started. Men in white appearing between cameras, adjusting lighting, suggesting angles, speaking like they belonged there, then disappearing. No names on any crew list, no trace in any recording, not even on security footage. Later, Gibson would only say, "There were things we couldn't explain," but the physical toll was undeniable. During the scourging scene, a whip struck Caviezel, hard. The scream you hear in the film, that wasn't performance, that was pain. The second strike tore into his flesh, leaving a scar that never healed completely. Then came the cross. Real wood, over 60 kilograms. During one fall, it came down on his head. His shoulder dislocated instantly. Doctors confirmed it. He was told to rest. He came back the next day, arms swollen, still filming. The crucifixion scenes pushed everything further. Winter conditions, freezing wind, hours suspended on the cross. Hypothermia set in. Production tried to stop. Caviezel refused. Christ didn't come down, so neither will I. Exhaustion turned into double pneumonia. Years later, his heart condition required multiple surgeries. What began as acting had become something else entirely. And it didn't stop with him. Luca Lionello arrived as an atheist. He left baptized. So did his family. Pietro Cerubi had only one silent moment, locking eyes with Caviezel. Years later, he said, "I didn't see an actor. I felt forgiven." That moment changed his life. When the film was finished, Hollywood refused it. No studio wanted the risk, so Gibson risked more. He funded the release himself. Then, something unexpected happened. On opening day, Ash Wednesday, February 25th, 2004, people didn't just watch the film, they came in waves. Lines stretched across city blocks. In some places, it felt less like a screening and more like a pilgrimage. The result? Over $610 million worldwide. At the time, the most successful non-English film ever released. But numbers don't tell the real story. Surveys showed something deeper. Millions didn't just leave the theater entertained, they left changed. Years later, Caviezel said, "I went in as an actor and came back as a witness." Gibson risked everything. Caviezel gave everything. And what came out of that small city in southern Italy was not just a film, it was something people didn't simply watch. They experienced. Now tell me this, before today, did you know what really happened behind the scenes of the Passion of the Christ? Which part surprised you the most?